Barcelona pushes in a very good way to say that the final stage is where they are getting in there. What exactly are you expecting? A lot will be coming right there. Whereas in Arsenal, still the struggle continues to look for, of course, a striker, but of course, a good news that is the Brazilian or the Samba boy. I'm talking about Gabriel Jesus back in training for Arsenal Football Club. Now, of course, all those will be wrapped up in today's Whistle Time. It's the weekend, and a lot is happening. We're expecting English Premier League, we're expecting FN, of course, we're expecting Carabao. Analyses are coming in right there. But of course, locally, we also did see, of course, the netball team are going in there. They suffered the first defeat and are probably not being well in the friendlies that they have been organizing. What about in the Africa Cup of Nations? That is only 1 day to go, and you did see also a team that suffocated in their plane. Of course, that is before they set off for the journey for the Africa Cup of Nations. Owen Izaga is my name, and I have Benson Pastore right here, with whom we shall be discussing a lot of things right here. Benson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Owen Izaga. Good afternoon, viewers. For the last 2 days, I've not been in the studios of West Nile Television, but I've been around. Great to come back. A lot of stories. It's a busy season for transfer, local and international. Some of the teams, they have started doing well to see that they actually reinforce the departments where they need players, more especially the team of Spurs. They are very active. Only 12 days already gone, and they have gone on to sign 2 players already. And also Borussia Dortmund, seeing that they need to resign. They need to resign Sancho, a very good addition. And also the biggest of it to me is that we only left with, I should say, just some hours for the kickstart of 2023 AFCON. So I think all the mood, all the atmosphere is set for the biggest tournament, but we'll be handling the content one by one.
Now back to you, that is us. You can get us on Facebook, you can get us on YouTube, you can also at the same time grab us live on, that is Zuku's satellite decoder 0073. That's the number, you can get it right there, and of course follow it instantly. Of course watch what exactly pushes right there. It's West Nile Television, but of course all in all, the Junior League is also set to start in a very big new format that we shall be discussing. But back yet again, the weekend has come. Regional League is returning. Expectation, all Arua City versus Kuluva Rainbow is one of the biggest games that you should be expecting right there. The two teams are so close to each other. One is in Arua district, the other one is in Arua City, but still under the same DFA over Arua DFA. Now of course that's where we shall be starting from. We can wrap up over the West Nile Regional League. What do you have for us?
Yeah, exactly. We're having so many games on the card, both Nile Zone and the Nyagaki Zone. At least each and every match day round, we're expecting a derby. Last weekend, we actually in Paida, the game between Paida United and the Paida Black Angels. We spoke lengthy about that particular encounter. Another one is coming on Sunday between Kuluva Rainbow and the team of Arua City. Just exactly the way you have mentioned. It's actually a derby between the two sides, because the two teams that are not actually far away from each other, and people are actually preparing to witness what will happen in this particular encounter. You look at Arua City, they are doing well. They are at number 4. You look at Kuluva Rainbow will be at around number 7. They're only 3 points behind the team of Arua City, and they are all having negative 2 goals behind them. That means a win for Kuluva Rainbow will see them going ahead of Arua City, but a win for Arua City will see that they extend the points gap between themselves and their arch-rivals Kuluva Rainbow, and at the same time it will keep them in the pace to follow the teams that are coming from Greater Alu region, because you look at the top of the table, it has been dominated by teams like Paida United. You talk about Pakwati Youngsters, you talk about Paida Black Angels. They started the season very well, but right now they are going down. So the game is on Sunday, and it will be live on West Nile Television. A lot of tension in that particular encounter, because I've already given the statistics behind the two teams. A win for Kuluva Rainbow will take them ahead of the team of Arua City. Meanwhile, a win for Arua City will see that they actually narrow the points gap between themselves and probably the teams that are ahead of Arua City, and at the same time it will help them to widen the points gap between themselves and the team Kuluva Rainbow. And also at the same time, after this round, we will only be left with a round for the first phase of the season to come to an end, at least they will be finishing the season in a better position.
Now let's start from there. Arua City is 12 points and -2 goals. That means they've conceded goals. And Kluver with 9 points. We at number 8, of course, in the relegation. So close, just a step to the relegation. They're off in their. They started wrong, poorly. You could see them in the relegation when the game started, but now all games are played. Around 8 games already are played, and they're getting to 7 games that are coming in there. 9 games. If you look at the two teams, that you would be wondering what exactly went wrong for Arua City, because by then they were flying on number 1, number 2, number 3. That was the position. Now they dropped to number 4. And if in any case Arua City loses to Koluva, then they become, just like you said, equal in points, but of course it will differ now, the goal difference that will separate them. That means a goal will see them go to 12 points, but of course a -1 goal ahead over. That means they will jump ahead over. That is Arua City. That is if Nebi Central, Pakwati Super Eagles do not win, because the 11 points are right there. So it gives you what exactly is coming. This group of the Nyagake zone, you would say that Paida, Black Angels still dominate with 22 points, and the team that is following them close is Pakwati Youngsters with 17 points. Now that battle is one big one. Let's leave that aside. Let's go to, that is the Nile zone. Nile zone has Odramachaku that is leading the table, and they are followed immediately by, that is, Coach Yaban, who of course lost. Remember, if they had not lost probably their game away, I think, to
Moyo Town Council.
Yes, Moyo Town Council, they would be there now, which means they are not doing well right there. They lost, and they are 17 points, just 1 point right there. Now a lot of games, an expectation is coming. This group has something to indicate.
Yes.
Very competitive, very good, and you would say that the two teams, Dramachaku, how they started, you would say Viper, Lolo, you could say he's doing his level best. But my question is, what went wrong for Leah Football Club? One of the clubs that everybody expected they would be right now the key biggest clubs right now. Last season we saw them. They were nicknamed as the Money Banks. They were nicknamed as the Arab team and the rest. Okay, that's just for the fans that we're saying. But right now, what could be the problem with Leah Football Club? At least you have been following this up to the down, up to the grassroots.
You know, this club so far called Alpha Rising Stars, when they were actually playing in West Nile, not West Nile Regional League, I should say, a 4th Division League in Arua City, they were performing very well. That's why they went and they finished as the champions. Even in the main league, they were actually they were actually the overall champions after emerging victorious over from Yumbe DFA, because they were also the champions from that side of Nile Zone. For Leah City, they were the champions from this side of Nyagaki zone. How the season started, you look at the picture, you flash back how Leah City started. If I can remember very well, they actually started the season with a defeat. After that, they had a win over the team of Pakwati Super Eagles, and also they after picking a win over Pakwati Super Eagles, they had a draw, and after the draw, we saw the win they picked against Pajobi United. Since then, it has been something very difficult for the team of Leah City as Alpha Rising Stars to see that even coming up with a mere 1 point a draw, or as to pick maximum number of points, has been something very difficult for the team called Alpha Rising Stars. That's why right now you look at where they are. They are the second last team as far as the table standing in Nyagaki zone is concerned. They have 7 points, and out of the 9 games they have played, 9 rounds they have played, they have only won 2 and drawing 1. That means the rest of the 6 rounds or 6 games, they have been defeats on the side of Alpha Rising Stars. Comparing this season with the season they had in 4th Division League, it's true that people never expected the Alpha Rising Stars to sit in a relegation zone and also to be the second last in that table standing. And there are some things I've been observing at the team of Alpha Rising Stars. So many people thought that the problem at Leah City has been actual from the managerial department. To me, that's not the case. You know, all these leagues we have in the world, not only in Uganda, they have got their weights. They carry their own weights. You can't compare the weight, the strength, the competition in Star Times Uganda Premier League with the competition we have in FUFA Big League. The second thing also applies in the third tier of Ugandan football. I'm talking about the regional league. You have so many regional leagues across the country, not only that one of Western Nile region. Now speaking specifically about Western Nile regional league, yeah, they performed very well, brilliantly in 4th division league. They needed to add, spice up things as they were getting closer to Western Nile regional league. Now getting to Western Nile regional league, did we see changes in Alpha Rising Stars that performed very well in 4th division league? Me, I will say no. Why am I saying no? I have to defend my point. You look at the players Alpha Rising Stars is having right now. There is no difference between the current players Alpha is possessing with that one of last season. You know, Western Nile Regional League is a league that has got physicality, that needs experience. That's why teams like Tipsa, you talk about Odamataku Central, you look at some of the players in these teams, others their age, not for nothing. The age bit of it provides experience. Some of the players, they call them court players. I can give you an example with the court player of Tipsa. His age 30 plus. You compare some of these players with the players, teenage players Lia City is currently having. I should say in summary, Lia City never prepared for Western Nile Regional League. They only went with that excitement of that brilliant performance they had in 4th Division League last season. Right now they need to rectify or reinforce a lot of things in various departments. Right now the managerial department is splitted where they need to work on. And
you're saying you don't see it being a management issue if you say they're splitted. It's one of the biggest things.
It's splitted.
Because you said, if you can remember, that it is not management at Lia. Now again, you're telling us.
No. The management, but the management bit of it is one of them. Because you look at all these teams in Western Nile Regional League. Lia City has been the first club to sack a coach, and had ever followed their games. You look at how the tactical battle has been. You will see that Pierre may also want to be the coach. You find that the CEO, the battle has been there. So that misunderstanding has been there in the managerial department. So that is first thing I looked at, where they need to do reinforcement, where is rectification, and also they need to go outside and at least get experienced players, age players that really have the experience of playing in Western Nile Regional League. These are the things they need to work upon if they really want to maintain themselves in the ongoing Western Nile Regional League.
A very big one. Of course, to me, there was, I said it was a rushed decision that Lia took to fire Liga Moritz, and every time when you're hiring a coach, you should be aware of his character, personal character, before you get to the rest of the thing. And that was one question I remember asking, whether were they aware of the personal character of their coach, if they said it was because of the personal issues or the personal characters that he showed out in there. And that is one big thing that one is going to be asking probably after the sacking of Liga Moritz. Now, when that failed, what exactly did they do? Who is that replacement they have brought? Is there any idea you have that this is the coach that the team has brought? I think no. You have not even had in here. You're talking about coach players. This is one thing. Okay, let's say coach player. Is he doing the right work that is required from the coach as a coach player? Those are some of the things that one should be asking. So I think Lia has a lot to do, or Alpha Rising. Of course, I saw them as last season submitting in a request for change of the name to Lia FC, which up to now I think has not happened. It's still Alpha Rising, and this is still another. Now, do these investors always have the right people? Because in a statement of the president of Uganda Football Association, Engineer Moses Magogo, he said Ugandan football, if no right people are going to be employed, if Uganda does not, if club owners do not know why they are starting a team, then still clubs are going to be managed or funded by these rich people in the country or in the area. Do you agree with that?
You know, talking about football in the entire continent of Africa, you know, most of the Africans, they have that love, they have that zeal for football, but they have failed to understand the football. Coming back to your point, coming by in relation to what Magogo actually had put on the table. Who are the people to manage football, or to manage a football club, to be specific? Yeah, you might be having love for football, but do you understand the procedures of managing a club? These are the things, exactly the way how you have put it. Everyone should look at, if we really want to see prosperity in the various clubs we have in the country, not only West Nile. You look at Alpha Rising Stars. Alpha Rising Stars has not been in the ownership of the ownership of the current owners. I don't know how they actually came into the system. That one takes us back to the statement Engineer Magogo actually came up with. It's all about understanding football, understanding the procedures, understanding how you can be able to manage and maintain your club. It's not all about, yes, I have love for football, I have a car, I have a truck, I have this amount of money, just a matter of injecting the money into football. It's all about understanding. And also, you need to get people who have in the brain of understanding in football. That's what I can say about it.
Very soon I think I need to take a leave and go to a course so that I can also be one of the maybe football managers right there. But of course administrators, it's one of the biggest thing heading in there. Okay, let's leave that, but still before we crossed over there, the focus was on the Arua City and Kuluva game that is coming on Sunday. I want to say that we shall be giving you all that, and a lot of reactions from different people that are already yielding in there. But Araka, after receiving in a van, or let's say bus, minibus for that is the club, we are seeing that the morale is going higher and higher, and of course the numbers have increased. Now we're expecting total display from this team, and that is one thing that will blow back the fans. If you look at how clubs get revenue, those are some of the sources. I think Araka won't suffer anymore, I should say, because if this bus is hired by another maybe company or a club, the club still generates money. Those are some of the sources that clubs do get via hiring. But at the same time, Araka is one of the clubs that has also in the regional league being so, they know what they want. I think the structure is helping them very, very well to push it right forward. So we shall be waiting to see how exactly this would be, but one of the biggest things that we're expecting is that these games should continue peacefully, and clubs should invest in their clubs. I mean, club owners should invest in their clubs. Don't just have started a club and who should take charge of the club. So those are some of the things that are coming in right there. Get the right people. It's transfer. I'm expecting a lot of transfer, unless you have any regional league transfer that is ongoing already.
Regional transfer clubs are yet quiet. I don't know if they are still waiting for the first phase to first come to an end, because I can see most of them are quiet, because we only left with the 2 rounds. This coming weekend and the other coming weekend matches, some games were postponed. Just in 30 seconds, speaking about it, the van the team of Araka acquired, you know, it's a process. It was a building structure, they have acquired it. I love the statement they actually came up with. The van will not only be helping the club, it will also help the other clubs we have in the region, even in the country. Not only regional league clubs and also 4th division league clubs. It's a very good initiative being taken by the club. Otherwise, in terms of transfer, the clubs are yet quiet, but we are following, because we are still left with 20 days for the transfer window in the country to shut down.
Now there's that game that is coming, Nebi Central against Padea Rising. You've known how Padea has been surprising giant teams in the regional league, though they are new entrants into this league, but they have always done everything possible to make sure that this gets down to the roots, and this is what they are going for. Paida and not Paida, but Nebi Central taking on Padea. How are you seeing that clash like?
One thing I've been observing about Nebi Central this season is they have failed to keep that consistency they have been having in the recent 2 seasons. That's why you look at the table standing right now. They are not even in top 3. They are not even in top 4. Coming up against Padea Rising Stars. Padea Rising Stars, one of the newly promoted sides that have surprised me so much. It's actually Total and the Padea Rising Stars that have performed very well among the newly promoted sides. The rest, they are actual battle in the relegation zone. Coming up against Nebi Central, they already know that the Nebi Central of this season is not the Nebi Central we have been watching in the recent seasons. It's going to be a tough game, because Padea Rising Stars right now, they are sitting ahead of Nebi Central. A win for them will still keep the momentum in them. So I want to be surprised if this game will end in favor of the Rising Stars.
It's a very tight contest, that is right there. Maybe, yes, I should say they are dropping every time and now. You can't say why. Some people would say it is because they have overplayed. I remember when Madrid was not doing well, people were like, Madrid overwon the Champions League, the players exhausted and this and that. Do you also say this is the same factor that is affecting maybe West Nile's Nebi Central?
You see, these teams, normal when you dominate something for 2 to 3 seasons, if you are not serious, that may be the time for you to go down. And teams that have been keeping it at the peak, each and every season, you always see the preparation coming maximally. Maybe send all the recent 2 seasons, not only 2 seasons, I'm saying I'm only focusing on the last 2 seasons because they have been actually the champions from Nyagaki Zone. And each and every season, teams are monitoring you, teams are valuing you, teams are looking for a way of how they can overcome you. That's why right now you are seeing, even to the extent of new promoted sides, they are all looking for a way of how they can actually silence Nebi Central. If they are not serious, this season or as in the upcoming seasons, we may not be seeing the best of Nebi Central unless otherwise they rectify on the things that have actually been letting them to go down. Otherwise, Nebi Central, they can still pick from where they had been doing it from in the recent seasons. They are not a bad side yet because you look at their position, they are not in the relegation zone. Still first round they can come back, but finishing on top like how they have been doing it, I don't see it coming this season.
Now, of course, that's one of the biggest things that we should be expecting. And at the same time, I want us to cross a little bit before we get back to the transfers and the rest of the talks. Yesterday, the national team had, of course, their first session of training. And out of that, you did see the man, Okocha, having his first training with the national team. Very many also said, how will he be with the team? How will he manage? What will he do? Which language will he speak? A lot of things were said. But Okocha has proved very many people wrong that he is in the national team. He has stayed at neck for all this because very many were saying Okocha will be coming back very soon. He has so far played half a season. He is still there, committed, and national team call-up is one key thing for him in his life. What does he deserve more, and what exactly does that mean to a player like Okocha Rashid?
First of all, I would like to start by saying that he deserves that and he has been selected on merit. Why have I said this? When you look at after the first phase of the season coming to an end, he has actually featured in the first 11. That means he has actually been one of the best players in the first round of Star Times Uganda Premier League, and he deserves to be called. And people say that he doesn't know English, which language is going to use. You know, football is not all about language. Though to some extent, I will say 30% we can mind about the language in football. We have seen players from Germany crossing over to Italy, Italy to Albania, Albania to France. But sometimes, you know, football is a game of physicality, which is always done. 90% is done in the pitch. Much as 10%, I should say, is done in class. It's just a matter of understanding yourself with the teammates, understanding yourself with the coach. About the language, 10%, that one will not affect him, I should say.
Okay, now that's one big one. I think it's a very good one, and it should be a plus for him in his career, achieving the first, of course, they call it a cup for, that is the team of Uganda in his life. It's going to be one key talking point for him. That will be, maybe he will tell his children that I was in the national team of Uganda Cranes right there. Now, it's of course one of the biggest things to achieve is getting into the national team. So unless you prove yourself. But all in all, I want to say the Federation of Uganda Football Association also came out revealing that the 2024 FUFA Junior League will still be on and will have a new look. But out of that, it will have 2, which is going to be called the Treble Group and also the Hat-Trick Group. I don't know what that will be meaning in there, but it's again mandatory for all the clubs in the top tier. I'm talking about the Star Time Uganda Premier League teams to have what is called all the players to be in there, or all the clubs to have their academy teams in performance. So, is that a good one?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's supposed to be a mandate for all the clubs to see that they feature their junior players into the league. It's going to add vibe and spice into the league. And now the question will be, when you speak about Junior League, people's mind, especially most of the West Nilers, will go back to the clubs we have in the region, more especially Roy Hill Sports Club. You may mention on the Paraka. Right now, they are struggling financially. Are they going to accommodate? Are they going to finance the two teams? Maybe the senior team and also the junior team is actually what they will be looking forward to see. For Roy Hill Sports Club, I don't know how they will address the matter, but since it's a mandate for all the UPL clubs, I think they will force their way to see that they actually come up with their junior team, because it's a mandate. If they will not also be participating in it, we never know in the other way it may affect them, but it's a very good build-up coming from the organization.
A good one in there, where of course the competition is said to be played in a league format or league basis, and 3 rounds will be played on home and away basis. 3 rounds, but hell, that's a big one. And then of course with the 3rd round, that will be hosted, determined by, that is the aggregates results that you have gotten in there, and each club shall be allowed to register a maximum of 25 players according to the report that has come in there. 10 of those should be born over January 1st 2007 at least, while of course the other 15 slot will be given to those who were born in 2008, 2009 and 2010. So you would see the age category that is right there, to see that they match very, very well. So every player must have a minor consent form signed by, that is, their parents and guardian as usual, and that is one thing that is going to be that. FUFA Junior League 2023-2024 season will be involving start times, of course, Uganda Premier League clubs, and is expected to kick off in Feb, probably by 4th 2024. So it's soon. How ready are the clubs is one question that somebody is going to be asking. How exactly ready are they is one thing we should be finding out from clubs now. But we're expecting to see that these clubs should participate, because we think they are very, very ready for that. That's where we are going to be taking a break, because we're coming back to give you, as yesterday, Moses Waswa parted ways also with KCCA, what, why and how we shall be getting to you right there. And of course a list of